Shalom, this is Amonute Tayac of Piscataway, your friendly neighborhood human, Sophia Spiritualite, the AmaruKhan Miriyam. And I wanted to make a quick video because I shared an article about the settlers in the West Bank. And I realized that nobody will have any idea why that's significant. So I just wanted to bring that information out real quick. Because we are going to do a live stream later on. Make sure you check that out. Get with us. But the significance of that, there's two different levels of significance. The significance of that is at the Cancer new moon last year, the so-called professional victims unit number 1 used that energy to seed, to lay the foundation for them settling the West Bank, for them taking it over. And that's important because at the same time of the Cancer new moon, while professional victims unit number 1 was attempting to recontract and take over more land, the Schumann resonance, that's the same time that the Schumann resonance matched my outfit. So while these people are trying to, start this new contract to take over this land, which they thought would be fulfilled by this Cancer new moon that's coming up right after Christmas, they got rejected. They got rejected at that time. But see, they didn't understand that they were being rejected because they're like the kid who no one ever told no. No one ever tells them no. So they didn't know that they were being rejected, and they, their hearts were hardened. But I specifically want to talk about that term settler because that is the actual title that our status that we are supposed to be in. We are supposed to be the settlers. And in a status situation, the settler is the one who, grantor settler is the one who directs the trustees on what to do. They settle the account. And so that's why they don't call them pilgrims that came here. They call them pilgrims that came here. But when they went west, they went to settle the land as settlers. And a lot of time you hear them talk about the people who came here as settlers, not just pilgrims. Pilgrims is a little bit different than a settler. But especially when they talk about moving west, they talk about settling the land. Well, how can you settle land that has already been settled? It's because they had a system that was foreign to our system, and they laid their system on top of our system. And basically, in their system, in order to be the settler, you had to have the authority, and you had to be you had to have the authority. You had to be either appointed or something. You had to have the authority. And in our system, we had people who had the authority, but they ignored our system and put their system over top of it and said, oh no, you have to follow our system because we keep the records. See, this whole battle has been because we don't have records. They took the records and they changed them, and to make it seem like we didn't have any records so that they could ignore our records. Oh, it's not written in this, it's not written in that. This is the language we speak. They didn't acknowledge our records because they literally just stole everything. They replaced our records because they believed they had a new contract. And the Most High allowed them to do that because our blessing was removed from us due to our behavior. So the Most High allowed them to set up a system on top of our system, take all the titles and everything that we use, and set up their own system. Well, it was never their system to begin with. It belonged to us. We were always the settlers because everywhere we went, we settled the land. We start just like Why are there so many Egypts? Why are there so many Jerusalems? Why are there so many Judeas? Why are there so many of the same? Everywhere we went, we were settlers. So we've been talking about we were Hebrews, we was Negroes. We were settlers. We were settlers. We could have been kings too, but more importantly than being the king, we were the settler. We settled everything. We have to use the right terminology. This is how they keep us in bondage. We're settlers. We are the settlers. So when you think of settlers, you can't think of some pilgrim-looking dude with a funny hat and all of that. No, we were the settlers. Everywhere we went, we settled the land. Nobody could settle the land except for us. This is why they have a problem, because the Professional Victims Unit number 1 has gone into the West Bank behaving as the settlers. That's not what happens. We are the settlers. We are the settlers. We settle the land. We settle the contracts. No one can settle but us. And so because they decided they were going to try to literally take over our position as the settlers, which is the most important title that we have, the mother has rejected them. Our sister is actively working against them, and the father has turned his back and said, oh no, I don't know them. I never knew you. Just like Jesus said when those virgins came to the gates with their oil and they was late. I never knew you. Who are you? Where'd you come from? He didn't know them. The bridegroom did not know them in that parable. He didn't know them. They could have been known if they had the oil. Well, who has the sauce? We do, because we are the settlers. We are the settlers. So this is just like a little, a short video, because I want people to start putting it in their mind. Forget about being Hebrews, Negroes, or anything else. We are the settlers. We are the settlers. I am the settler of my account, of the land, of everything. I'm the one who settles everything. Period. That's why we can't automatically jump into being, fighting, because, hey, I settle it, but the judgment and the justice, that comes from someone else. I don't do that part. But for sure, we settle. We come in, we make it fruitful and abundant. That's what the settler does. It tells the trustees what to do, and that's what we always did. So we have the confluence of this term settler that's coming up right now. So I just wanted to make a quick video and tell y'all about that, because it's going to be very, very relevant over the next week and a half until the day after Christmas. It's going to be relevant to know who's the settler, because that's going to have to be revealed. These people cannot settle the land. Only our people can. And it's going to be a lot of angry people that they are not the settlers. They've always thought they were the settlers, and they're not. And a lot of people are getting ready to find out that they were never the settlers. We were the settlers. That's really, we were the settlers. We were the settlers. So that's all. I'll just make this quick. See y'all this evening. Shalom.